Hello lovelies, it's Lesley. Not quite enough sense? Probably. How are we all? I hope everyone's okay. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all your comments and thoughts on last week's vlog. Before I forget, another new podcast to suggest to you. This is Pip of the Woolly Cwtches, and let me spell that for you. Cwtch is spelled C-W-T-C-H. It's a Welsh word, and I think it means hug. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, Pip. Yeah, she put episode 1 up last week. So I'll link that below if you wanted another podcast to watch. And someone's just sending me a text. Ain't that always the way? So it's Monday morning as I record this. We've got sunny weather. We've had very wet weather, but we've got sunshine at the moment. So himself and the dog have gone out to the park. Himself is still wearing shorts at the moment. We're getting close to the he's going to have to put the long trousers on soon stage, but not quite yet. He did have one day where he wore his jeans, but then he got too hot, so... So Saturday, went to my friend's birthday party. She liked the cowl that I made. I didn't tell you what it was last week. I made her a cowl, put a picture in here, and I'll talk about it. I recorded a piece about it for the month end podcast, but she liked that, so that's good. Yeah, it was nice to catch up with a few folks that I hadn't seen for a while. I didn't stay very long, just a couple of hours or so. That was kind of enough for me. I'm going through one of those kind of not so great periods, which we all do periodically. Periodically. Bad sentences, Lesley. We all do that from time to time. The bad sentences and anyway. And I don't know if it's kind of the change of the seasons or the clocks going back or just life. But a couple of hours was lovely, but it was enough. And I was sort of thinking, okay, I need to kind of de-people myself. So, but yeah, it was nice to catch up with some friends I haven't seen for far too long. So that was all good. What else is going on? Yesterday was quite a constructive day, actually. This room is always untidy, as you know, because you can see it. But it was getting to the point where I could barely walk across the floor because I had boxes of things and stuff piled up. And I had a bit of a sort out yesterday. I had to do some work, but once that was done, I had a bit of a sort out. And it was stupid things like the printer that I use for my work is a LaserJet printer. So it doesn't have the little ink cartridges. It has the big toner cartridges. And it's all through HP, it's an HP printer, and they recycle. But you do have to send them back, understandably. And I had 3 here. Now, I don't know how long it takes me to get through 3 printer cartridges, but quite a while. So I boxed those up and arranged for them to go back. Those sorts of things, you know, the things that can just kind of accumulate. And again, that feeling of overwhelm can be with stuff as well as with lots of people or noise or busyness. So so it felt good to get those packed up and ready to go. They should be collected today. I did some mending, got some clothes that needed just small repairs, but I'd put them to one side and hadn't done them, and I nearly didn't do them yesterday because I thought actually I'd quite like to finish the thing I'm crocheting, but I thought no, I can do that another day. This is sewing time, and it was really worthwhile. Yeah, so that felt good. It felt good to kind of do those things that just kind of at the back of the head, and you know they need doing, but it's just kind of getting round to them. So yes. Sorry, this is probably telling you an awful lot more about my mental state than you wish to hear. But there we go, life's like that. So craft-wise, because the wonderful Barb in Ontario sent me that homemade advent calendar of yarn, I'm getting ridiculously excited about what to make, and I can't decide whether to make another sweater like this, which is where I have 2 strands of very fine weight yarn plied with fingering weight yarn, and make a sort of thicker sweater, or whether I make something using the fingering weight on its own, because this is great and it pulls everything together, but then you kind of lose some of the colour definition, so I can't decide. But it's very nice. It's a nice problem to have. So yeah, apart from that, just a reminder that if adverts come up during any of my vlogs or podcasts during the middle of the video, I have no control over that now. That's in YouTube's hands, so I can only apologise if that happens. But I think that's it for a Monday morning. I really ought to crack on with some work. Thanks everyone. Cheers. Hello lovelies. Another day, another little FO. Got a little poncho here. This is the Classical Attitude poncho, which is a free pattern on the hobby website for my great niece. Used about 500 meters of yarn. The initial pattern is just for the poncho. I added the hood. And the yarn, I used some Patterns Fairy Tale Dreamtime 4-ply, and this variegated yarn, which is Lang Yarwol Magic Degradé. I'm probably pronouncing all of those words wrong, except possibly magic. Yeah, so I just added stripes in, letting the colour variations take their course, and then put a hood on as a little kind of throw over when she's been to the beach, that kind of thing. So I hope that's useful for her, and I will record more details for the month end podcast. In fact, I'll do that now. Hello lovelies. It's another dark, damp, dreary day here. And chilly. I've got a little heater that lives under my desk, and I might have to turn it on in a minute, because it's, even with my layers, I'm feeling a little bit cool. But I do have, it's been a very productive week, because I have another thing to show you, which is the latest bit of spinning. This is some fibre from Witchcrafty Lady. There's a shock. It is, the label's up here, the Fall Colours colourway in Superwash Polworth. And I've done it as a classic 3-ply. And Barbara made me laugh, Barbara of Flame and Fibre, because I spin a little every day while I'm watching her. And she did her podcast the other day and she said, oh, I'm rambling now, but that's okay, Lesley will have more time to spin. And I was just finishing the last part of the braid. So I'm like, yeah, you ramble, love, you've got another couple of minutes here, because then I can finish this. Talking of Barbara, this weekend it's another Zoom call. It's only a couple of weeks since we last had a Zoom call. And yesterday Barbara was saying, well, maybe we'll have nothing to say. We'll sit quietly and craft together. Yeah, we know that's not going to be the case, because we're going to chat and it'll be lovely. So it is an hour earlier. It's now 1 o'clock Eastern time. I think that works out to about 6 o'clock in the UK, 7 o'clock in mainland Europe. Do check those times. 1 o'clock Eastern is our time, and then everyone else can kind of work around that. But it'll be good fun, so I'm looking forward to that. And I've just realised that you can see the colour changes, because I'm using my oh, who are these? Is it Acreworks that makes these bobbins? I can't remember. But although that looks like it's part of the bobbin, this is actually a bluer colour to the yarn. So we'll see how that goes when it's skeined up. My next spinning project is going to be a plying project, because I had a not very good attempt at chain plying. I have got some very fine yarn. I've still got lots of cones of very fine yarn, and I'm going to chain ply one of those. It'll probably make it a bit more usable as well, because it'll be a thicker yarn, but it will be good practice. So that's my next spinning project. But yeah, I shall skein this up later and soak it, and then we'll see how we go from there. I think that's going to be it for this week, because as always work is kind of piling up towards the end of the week, so I will finish recording here and set this to do all its magic and upload. But I hope everyone's okay. I hope you're all keeping well. Those of you who are not doing so well for various health reasons, thoughts are with you, and hope that everything goes as smoothly and as quickly as it can. And I'll see you next week. Thanks everyone. Take care. Bye bye.